Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of Soulful Conversations. I'm Nicola McCarthy, and I'm here with my co host and husband, David.
Hello, everybody.
Hello,
Hello, right?
hello, hello. Wow, we're back.
We are, yeah.
We've been away for some time.
Mm-hmm. We
Each
have.
each week it's been maybe we'll do a podcast this week, but no, it's been a break.
It has been a break, yeah. Come back invigorated, raring to go.
Yep,
Absolutely. And with things to and
sounds
things to
like
talk
it.
about.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we have
absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
things to talk about.
Yeah.
What are we
Gosh,
talking
have we?
about?
Well, yeah. Today, light language.
Like,
So light language, I think, has been featuring a lot more in our lives.
oh yeah, it really has.
Yeah, yeah. Even though I'm not the one who produces it, um,
Produces it.
shall we say, yeah, produces it, is that the word? Connects to it, channels it.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but it's been featuring a lot more. And yeah. And we've been
Yeah.
feeling the impact of it more on our lives too.
Mm, mm.
And yeah.
Well, it's been um it's been interesting times. And you know what? I think I'm not sure how long it is since we did a podcast. I'm guessing maybe 6 weeks, maybe a bit longer, I'm not sure.
Mm,
But in that time, it's been an interesting time. There has been, I mean, it feels like a lot longer. It feels like a lot has happened. Um, and yeah, energetically, there's been so much coming through, so much change, so much, that people have been experiencing. And light language has just, it's something that came into my life. I don't know, what was it, 2021? So what, three years ago now? Feels a
mhm,
lot longer, actually.
yeah, yeah.
Um, and it's something that I've been using probably, more and more um, in my client sessions, maybe to like clear the energy, make it kind of nice and calm when we're starting a reading, or to clear somebody's space. But actually, just recently, it's just been coming through. I mean, I even have been waking up
You
speaking.
have been. You have been. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and
And in the middle of the night.
and in the middle of the night. And it's made me really need to take notice. Sometimes these things, are there, and we just kind of like take them for granted in a way, don't we? um, and just think, oh, it's a nice kind of way to clear the space. But
Mm,
actually, these really intense days, we've spoken more about the light and the solar flares and the solar storms and the frequency, which has been literally off the scale, and the way that it's made us feel. Um, when you're particularly sensitive, even if you're not sensitive, how can you have not felt what's been going on? You know,
yeah.
it 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 has touched us in every way, physically, emotionally. It's been purging, it's been bringing up so many emotions, and all of the stuff that we've got in our lives that have it needs to be cleared.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. It's the energy.
Energetically, it's time to be,
Yeah.
to
But
be
it's certainly flagged all sorts of up from nowhere.
mm,
And so it's really good. But
mm,
it's and it has been intense.
yeah,
And actually you've used the the light language has come out more in this time.
mm,
Probably is also because you gave it a bit of space for
mm.
it to come out as well, I think.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I don't know, I felt the healing of it. Um, Actually, a few times when I've not been able to sleep, and normally I can sleep anywhere, anytime, but with the energy coming in
Yes.
lately, it's been difficult.
Mm,
And when, yeah, a couple of times I've struggled, I woke up in the middle of the night and you've done your light language on me, and within minutes, I'm back into sleep from what I promise, like almost like an agitated mind space. So
mm,
I felt the benefit from that.
mm.
But it's been coming on more and more, and even the more we, when we go out and we, um, you know, um, go to a town or a city, and there's people around, and there's energies there, and
I
you
just
know,
kind of feel like it's yeah, it's my go-to. It's absolutely my go-to for clearing the space, clearing the energy, clearing, calming, it,
healing.
healing, really deeply healing.
Mm.
Um, and I don't know whether it's because, I'm psychic and I've done that mediumship and channeling for years, whether I can tune into that space and tune into people's energies, particularly, you know, really, I can like really feel it. Um, yeah, yeah, it's
Well, I'm sure
just,
that's something to do with it. But I also can feel it, that mass consciousness as well. And when you go in, we can feel it as a general thing.
mm,
And, the only time you get away from it is the more you get away from people.
mm,
The more you've got a concentration of people around you, then you picking up that energy, and generally it's not always beneficial. And there's a lot that needs healing and clearing in it. And
mm,
that's when
mm,
the light language
mm. So
starts to do
I
itself.
suppose, for people that have never heard of light language before, because we're just assuming that,
Oh, yeah.
you might have listened to a previous podcast where I've talked about it, or, watched my Instagram posts or whatever. I suppose really I better talk about what it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so I had no idea what light language was. I'd never heard of it. And I heard it on a really lovely sound bowl session during lockdown. And when the lady started the light language, it was just this wave of pure love, like blissful energy that it wasn't like listening to, a meditation or music or anything, because it actually touches you. It touches your soul. You feel it.
Mm.
Um, and I became completely obsessed with finding out more about it, where it had come from, what it was, who was doing this thing, how could I learn it?
Mm.
And and that was it. You can't learn it. I was literally just remembering it. It was something that resonated with me so deeply that, I just knew it. And that's what was, really pulling me towards these. So I just listened to it more and more. I found it so beneficial. Um, and I suppose within 6 months, it just unlocked in me. It just unlocked. It just,
Yes.
yeah. Um, and I've spoken about this before on um, interviews and previous podcasts, that I was just on a walk with you, a
You were,
summer
yeah.
walk, and
I remember.
it is. I really didn't feel good at all. When you've got something inside of you that maybe you need to be sharing with somebody, and it's making you feel a little bit uncomfortable inside because you need to share that thing with somebody to get it
And
off your
you're not
chest.
get it off your chest.
And I
Yeah.
suppose that's the kind of feeling it was, but I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what it was that I needed to share. And, a few days previous to that, or probably a few weeks previous to that, I don't know, some just weird stuff was going on. And I thought it was menopause. I just thought, I was waking up in the middle of the night and feeling these really intense waves of energy, and um, I'd been um, I'd been doing a lot of like meditations, like deep activating kind of work,
Mm.
and my third eye really, I already thought that I thought I was activated. But I wasn't, this, my third eye literally one day just started to pulsate almost. And when my eyes were closed, all I could see was the most bright purple. And I can't remember whether that was before light language or after, but it
I
was
think that was
around
just
that.
before. I think it was before.
It was
Yeah.
around that time,
Mm.
and I do also remember that you were doing a healing on me because I was really quite disturbed.
Hmm.
You were doing some healing on me, and I saw some coding, like it's coming down, and this was all like what I didn't know at the time, but it was like light language symbols. So I was obviously receiving these symbols um, completely unbeknown to me because I didn't
What they
even
were
know what
then?
it was.
Yeah.
And this is the whole thing, when it came through on our walk, and I suddenly, it was in my throat, it was ready to come through. I stopped it because I was just embarrassed. I thought, I know that you weren't going to judge me, but I was almost going to judge myself.
You were. I think that's the thing is you do like to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
do, yeah. So I prevented it, and I think
Mm.
that's the worst thing that you can do. If this is happening for you, just go with it. Just trust it because your soul knows. You are being opened up, and just to allow that to come through, and it will just be so much easier than when I did it, because it manifested in a migraine, which I'd had, I think, about 3 migraines over a quite short period of time. And now I look back and I realize it really was me resisting.
Mm.
And you were healing me after this walk, just doing a little bit of healing. And all of a sudden, the light language
It
just,
started. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
it couldn't, it was just,
Burst the dam, didn't it?
yeah, yeah.
Literally. Yeah.
And yeah, 15, 20 minutes of just discharging these
But the migraine
codes.
went away straight away.
It did, yeah.
Amazing. Yeah.
And there you go. That was it. That was the beginning. And then you can't go back. You
No.
can't go back. It's begun. And it's taken 3 years of getting to know it and understanding it and
Being comfortable with it.
being comfortable with it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, good grief. Yeah, to start with, it was like a new love.
Hmm.
Because it was a release. It's like a release of energy from you, but it's like you feel that healing energy yourself. So it's benefiting you. And I think that that's really, I've heard people saying, oh, well, actually, I was in the beginning. immediately, because I love to, whatever I do, I love to share with people, you know, I want to share whatever it is. And I wanted to share it straight away. Um, but it wasn't ready to be shared. It was for me. It was for my transformation and
Yeah.
my catalyst, really.
Mm, mm.
And I think that that's what it is, you know, and that's what I'm using it for now. It's like a catalyst for transformation.
Yeah. So first of all, it was for you
Mm,
and a bit for me,
mm,
and now it's for other people.
yeah.
Really, yeah. So because you've got to heal yourself with whatever modality you're using,
Mm,
and this one's gone quite deep and hit layers that you never thought it would hit,
mm.
and has cleared stuff away which you never thought it would clear.
No,
You
that's
didn't know
it.
was there even.
Yeah. And
So
and you know, we're moving into just different times. You
mm,
know, we're moving into heart-led times. We're I'm sure the majority of people listening to this, you know, if you found this podcast, you will know what's going on, you know, and you'll be feeling it deep, deep inside.
mm.
And these are the people that the light language is for. You know, it's for transformation,
Yeah,
really
it's
quick
people who've
transformation.
awakened as well and are open to this and it resonates with them. It's for those. I think for the other people that it doesn't resonate with, they're not, ready for this sort of level really
Well, I think
of change almost.
people will feel it
Yeah,
and they don't understand it.
no.
Um, and you know, I saw an old friend actually recently, and we met up for coffee. I should probably be listening to this, and we were sort of reminiscing about, because she was really there. Good grief, 25, 30 years ago, when I started my spiritual journey, my path. You know, I'd sit with her and we'd do channeling, and you know, because I was scared that I would never come out of it, you know, and she was there at the very beginning when I was doing my readings, and you know, it was just such an exciting time. And she's been listening to the podcast, and I said, you know, about light language, spoke about light language, and she said, yeah, but it's wonderful, but I don't understand it. I don't know what you're saying. And with that, what and this is just typical, it just comes out, and it's like, I say, I can't really describe it, but it's like a sneeze. You know, you get like a sneeze and you're like, oh, it's coming. And you try to stop the sneeze, but you can't. And then it just comes. And that's what light language is like. So as she was talking, I was like, because we were in like a really busy cafe.
Mm, mm.
And I just had to stop. So I just
Yeah,
looked at her and started, you know, giving this it's a transmission. You know, it's a transmission of energy, and you will feel it. You know, you feel that energy, and I don't know, it went on for probably 2 or 3 minutes, maybe a bit longer. And in that time, there's nobody else in the room, like, you know. And she said to me, she kind of welled up, and she said, I felt that in my eyes. She said, I never look anybody, and I find it very difficult to lock eyes with anybody. But she said, I was staring in your eyes the entire time. And that's what I believe, you know, you're receiving it.
yeah,
You know, you're and it's so subconscious. It
yeah.
bypasses your logic.
He
It
does. Yeah,
bypasses
it's not a
all.
left brain thing at all. No, it's not a left brain thing at all. And it
And
does, it just hits your whole field wherever you need it.
yeah, and I
Yeah.
can't say, I can't say what was in that, but it is pure love.
Mm,
Um, and and it definitely brings change. It brings transformation. It moves you. It brings healing on some level. Um, so yeah, so that's kind of, yeah, that's what light language is, and it's really come for, for these times. And it's very clearing. It's
But you've used it, and we still use it now as if I'm driving somewhere and then you'll just start light language and I'm thinking, what is going on? Oh, and now I'm aware, right, what's happening with the road? And we'll go around a bend and there'll be an accident there.
mm,
There'll be cars in the ditch or whatever,
mm,
police and everything.
mm,
And that's happened time and time again. And it's like, so you can't deny it. I can't deny it in that, it knows there's something going on, and whatever it is that's coming through you wants to clear that energy and heal whatever's caused that. And it's amazing,
mm,
absolutely amazing. And then we go, and when we've been, I said, and anywhere there's lots of people, and there's darkness. I can feel there's darkness in the air. Um, then it just starts.
mm,
It just starts, and it doesn't stop sometimes for ages,
mm.
and
And
just keeps coming, and
mm,
like clearing a pathway.
mm, mm,
It's
mm,
amazing, absolutely amazing. So it's
mm,
very healing, very clearing for certain situations, definitely.
mm. Yeah, I use it, even the sound bowls, because these are really, like I say, light language it's like a really high vibrational tool.
Mm,
Um, I've used lots of different healing modalities, lots of healing in my journey, and a lot of them were for healing me, and then I shared it with other people, healing with food, and that was, the foundations. Um, Emotional freedom technique, tapping, bringing up emotions and releasing them very quickly. Um, but this almost kind of bypasses all of that, because people, because I've used EFT in my one-to-one sessions with people, and even though, I mean, I think it's amazing, I think it's absolutely brilliant, I use it myself. EFT is just phenomenal, but it's not for everybody, because you have to, not always like revisit the emotion, but it is really feeling the emotion to allow the emotion to be free,
mm,
or revisiting something to allow it to move through you. This is just light language seeing you and and just clearing everything in you, you know?
mm. Yeah.
Um,
So it comes out in a different way for you and clears in a different way for you.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And as I was saying, the bowls, these because these are really high vibration, really, crystal technology, crystal sound. It's like, and sound is so powerful. So, the bowls and the light language in combination, it's you can't really explain the power.
No, you can only feel it. It's only if
Yeah,
you feel it.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And I did my first YouTube clip this week, because I knew that people would be really feeling like, I think it was Friday. It was just like, it was off the charts. There was all this energy coming in, and it was the night that we had the aurora, and it was just like, it was like full moon times 20.
Mm,
And I just thought people need to be calming, like grounding. And, I needed it for myself.
yeah,
And you
yeah,
can really, you can feel that at the beginning of the transmission. If you look back, you'll see, I've called it divine transmissions, and it's the very first one. I don't know when you're listening to this, there might be more. But you can see I'm really like, I'm feeling it in myself.
yeah,
So
yeah,
it's really for me and it's for you. And it just moves, the energy just moves through you, calming, calming, calming. And that can be in a minute, it can be in 45 minutes. It it moves through the layers.
yeah. Depends on what you've got.
Yeah. Um, and of course, there's different sounds, isn't there?
Lots of different sounds come with it. Yeah, lots of different intonations and like,
Intonations.
yeah, and there's almost like, yeah, well, like different flows of everything as well.
Mm.
And they can be almost almost categorized a bit, can't they? In a way.
Well, yeah, I mean, to me, it really doesn't, I'm not really, it doesn't really interest me where the light language comes from, but I do get asked a lot. So
Yeah.
I think, I'll just mention it. Um, and I suppose I'm becoming more aware of the different types of light language that come through. And it's not something that I can control really. I can't call for, you know, Arcturian light language or Syrian light language, or I can't, it just comes what is needed. So there are galactic, cosmic light languages, which are the Arcturian, Pleiadian, Syrian, and they're all very different. Some are very like soothing, like a melody, like a really
Musical. Yeah.
music. It is like
Yeah.
music.
It is, yeah.
Um, and some are quite, quite like almost cutting through something.
Mm,
It's not easy to listen to that one.
mm,
The song ones are like lovely to listen to and soothing. It's like being hugged. The other ones are like, like clearing. And then there's angelic. And I think, because I connect with the angelic realm, and that's when that comes through. It's like it's funny because I don't sing. I'm not I do sing, but I don't, I'm not a singer. And I wouldn't say I've got a great singing voice. Yet when I do a personal light language transmission, um, that singing is just, it's like an opera singer.
yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, it really is. Yeah. I'm thinking, where is that coming from?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm,
It's like some of it can be so high and so pure. I'll tell you what was really interesting. I was going to leave it to the end to tell you about this, but it's just coming through now. I did like a, because I've actually packaged this now as a healing for people, like a
yeah.
personal healing
Standalone.
via,
Because you were doing this before, but you were putting it in everything you did, weren't you?
yeah.
So
This is
now,
a
mm,
specific light language
yeah,
healing by
mm,
Zoom, hour
yeah,
session, one to one,
mm,
um, to cut through anything. Because, literally, it can be anything that you're feeling, anything that you're going through. Um, and I did one yesterday, but the reason I wanted to talk about this now was because I was doing this singing because it was like, I don't know, 35 minutes, 40 minutes of just light language, just all these different types. And this was just it was singing, it was really like, and it just kept coming up on my screen that I needed to change the setting on Zoom to the music setting, because it just thought I was a musical instrument.
That's bizarre.
Yeah.
Mm.
So
Never had that. Yeah.
yeah. So
Mm.
that was, and then
Yeah.
um and then it comes through with like, because it's codes that are coming, and the codes that come through, they bring a they bring a sound with them. So it's like I feel the codes coming through me, and in order to reach you, they come through with a click or a tick or a squeal. That doesn't sound
All
very
sorts of noises. Yeah.
pleasant, does it? But kind of like a, I don't know, can't really explain it, like a buzzing
Mm.
and a humming, um, and like there's lots of whirring sounds as well. Because like I feel like I'm taken to like chakras and energy points in the body. And if there's some stuck energy in that chakra, I'll be taken there. But of course, these all have, um, for people. So this is great for like healers,
Mm.
great for people who have who know something about healing or Reiki, because I suppose for them they won't feel it any differently, but um, they'll understand it, you
Yeah.
know.
Well, they might feel it different because they're
Mm,
sensitive people. So
mm,
they will feel something going on, even
mm,
though maybe they can't always put it into words.
mm,
Yeah.
mm, mm. So, and then the other thing that comes through is, so it's not just like the galactic and the cosmic, excuse me. Um, it can also be like ancient civilizations, like ancient guides. So I have an Oriental light language, which has been showing up more and more lately. Um, and actually, this one kind of really comes very, very close. So,
So yeah, sometimes you can see like an overshadowing on your face,
mm,
which is when they come close to you,
mm,
like from
mm,
doing this sort of work years ago in mediumship and trance work,
mm. And that has
where
happened,
they would
in
come
in
close.
readings with me,
Yeah.
where somebody's loved one has overshadowed my face and they've
Yeah.
literally gasped and gone,
Yeah.
"That's my father-in-law,"
And
or
really, because you probably opened those pathways up years ago for
mm,
that to happen,
mm,
then whoever these ancient, because it feels like ancient wisdom coming through, doesn't it? It
mm.
feels like a very wise old soul coming through
Yeah, that's right. And
as
it's
well.
like,
At times, not
yeah,
every time, but at times.
yeah, and that is when they're almost reading from a book, reading to you or telling you, they're speaking to you. That's what it feels like. They're speaking this ancient knowledge, or, you know, giving you a talking to
Yeah.
during the session, which is really, yeah. So you get like, there's like a aboriginal um sense that it's only a sense, because I don't know that it is, and an Oriental lady who's just so, it's such a beautiful fix. Each of them come through with different feelings for me too,
Mm.
you know. So yeah, so it's yeah, these kind of wise elders
Yeah. Yeah.
with knowledge for you, and the yeah, and what people experience is, yeah, it's pretty powerful. It's pretty powerful
Mm,
stuff.
mm.
But I really think, it's coming through for now.
It is, yeah, to help people transform and change, clear the old stuff away, all the stuff that's been holding them back and their ancestors
Mm,
back,
mm.
putting all that stuff away and then helping them rise up.
So when you say that, what do you mean exactly? Mhm.
Well, we take on all sorts of stuff from our ancestors. They had to go through things, and that's carried on down the line. I found in lots of people, and it can be like in a generational iniquity or a generational curse or whatever, however it's traveled down the line. And it can come down many, many generations, because many of our ancestors were, living, we think these are oppressive times, they were very oppressive times, military rule and everything everywhere and always fighting everywhere as there is now. But they didn't have the community to, and they didn't have the connection of shall we say, the internet to find out information on different things and open up to stuff.
Mm,
So, all that heavy, heavy stuff, even, your ancestor who was one of the martyrs of Lewis, who was burned at the stake um, in Lewis, which is one of the reasons why they have the bonfire celebrations in Lewis every year. That was what, 500 years ago when that happened. We've carried a lot of this stuff,
mm,
a lot of this persecution stuff in us. And as healers and sensitives, you need to release it. You need to get rid of that stuff to help you grow because it's been holding you down. That darkness has been working, to hold you down and suppress you.
mm,
And anything that frees it up,
mm,
which is, the work I do, and now your light language
mm,
is, we just got to embrace it, let it happen and let it go. Let go of all that stuff.
mm.
See
And I
where we
think,
can go.
yeah, I think you're right. It is just about letting it go,
Mm,
and just being free with all of this stuff.
yeah,
Because, in the past, there would have been, a procedure,
yeah,
there would have been a course, or,
yeah.
you would have had to gone and learn this, but
Yeah,
you,
it's strange actually. It's interesting you saying that because you would have had to learn everything in the past on a course. So
but this
when
is,
it's funny because when I learned my healing years ago, I mean, I was healing anyway.
yeah,
And the lady who taught me had been healing since the age of 5.
mm,
And she said, and she was, I think at the time she was in her 70s, maybe late 70s, maybe actually even early 80s. And she said, oh, we just have to do this, and do it formally. But, this is how I do it. And this is how you should do it, how you feel like you should do it.
mm,
You just had to do that just to tick a box so you can get your
mm,
certificate. But otherwise, it's just something
mm,
you
mm,
should, it's just inside you.
mm,
You don't need a certificate to say
mm,
anything.
mm.
It shouldn't be that way. That's no, because that's somebody else teaching you their way, which works for them, but maybe not for you. And light language for you just came.
Yeah. Well, it
It's
just
not.
came, but also, what's really coming to me now is just that memory of us being together in our past life.
Mm, mm,
And that was something that, maybe many of the people that are watching or listening to this will have a sense of something from the past. Because I think a lot of healers, we just, we know it. We know it. We know light language. It's there inside of us. We're interested in it. We just want to hear it, like, because we know it. And
yeah.
we, I knew you the minute that I saw you. I
Hmm.
just knew you.
Yeah.
My soul recognized your soul. Um, we had a past life regression very soon after meeting, and it was just so clear. We were
Mm,
healers, but we were stopped from doing, you were taken away
mm,
and I never saw you again. And that
mm,
was like, and how many people it's like, years and years, natural healing has been suppressed,
mm,
you know, um, and it's the most natural thing.
mm.
We
Absolutely.
should just be doing everything that we feel from within,
Mm.
whatever that
Yeah,
might be,
absolutely. Yeah.
and different people will be drawn to different things,
Mm.
for different reasons at different times in their life.
Yeah.
Um, I like light language. It doesn't just come through as this these words and singing, and it comes through in different ways too. It comes through as well, always use my hands. It comes through, and some light language healers, for want, or channels, or what, for want of a better word, you know, they just use their. I say just. That's not. It's, they use their hands, and the channeling is coming. The energy is coming through
Mm.
their body.
Yeah. Mm.
Also the art. So what I found yesterday, which was interesting, because I've done pictures for people, and it's not, my main thing that I do, but I do love to draw. So they've obviously brought that through for me as well. It's like coding, which comes through, and I kind of like just plug into the person, and I'm thinking of their energy. And obviously, if it was like a healing scenario, then I'd be plugging into what it was that, needed working with. And yeah, they're just like, I don't know, like cosmic pictures.
They are. Yeah.
But
Very special.
mm, yeah. Um, and sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes you can look at the pictures and you can actually really see something in that picture. They're very clever.
Mm.
Um, and the one that I did for my son, because my son, interestingly, I say that because, he's not particularly, I don't know, I'd say interested in light language. Maybe he is. Maybe he is. But he asked for 3 pictures for one of his rooms. And I did these 3 pictures, and one of them, and it was only when I'd packaged it up and I was kind of like looking at them when I was just about to send them off to Australia, and it had love written across it. But it was written in such the shapes, I didn't even consciously know that it was there. And then there was, the light language coding, which is, to me, it looks like shorthand. That really does age me. But I went to secretarial college and I did, I learnt to type on a manual typewriter, and I learnt, yeah, shorthand. Um, so I could take minutes at the meeting. Um, and so it does look like shorthand, you know, with dots and kind of. But the session that I was doing yesterday, the healing session that I was doing with this lady yesterday, towards the end, I just started. It's like a doodle, but it's coming through really, really quick. And that was something for her too, because throughout the session, it was like kind of, I don't know, like releasing something, like
Yeah.
calming the energy at the beginning,
Mhm.
smoothing the energy, opening, releasing and sort of loosening everything, and then bringing everything to the surface, and then clearing it through, and then bringing in the good stuff, bringing in the coding, bringing in the new resetting, I
Reset.
suppose.
Yeah. Mm.
Mm. And then, doing the healing and then calming everything down. And it's like, did the different beings, for want of a better word, or the different channeling comes through
Yeah.
for the different
Sections,
time.
shall we say? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah. So
Ooh.
so yeah, so that's light language. And I I don't know, I think, the last few weeks that we've not been on here, there's been lots going on in our life, and a lot of readjustment, I guess.
Yeah.
And it's made me really think that this really is my most important work, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. When you see the transformations in people,
Mm,
definitely.
mm.
Yeah.
So yeah, so there we go. So any questions, send them in. And I hope that I've managed to answer as much as I can here. We've recently opened up a membership. I am rising, and we do monthly live talks in there, and a live Q&A every month, both of us. And yeah, there's going to be more light language going into the library, because there's a library with all sorts of resources, meditations and clearings and exercises, and even my cooking, because it's all healing, isn't it?
Everything's healing on different
And
levels. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
different levels. And as I say, different people need different things. And I think, even though going ahead, I want to be doing more light language, really focusing more on light language, because it's for the times. I wanted somewhere that I could put everything that I've done, and because the people that need that, it's there for them.
Yeah. I actually also think that the angels are playing a big part
Oh God, yeah,
in it too. I mean, what you do.
absolutely, absolutely. Well, they come
And I know
through.
something else is going to come from them soon for you
Mm,
as well. But
mm.
yeah.
They turn up again in everything that I'm doing.
Mm.
They come when I'm doing the light language. They come
Yeah.
through, and you can feel them. And I think they guide me
Yeah.
to do what I'm doing anyway.
Mm.
Um, and you can all you can all plug into that. It is purely just asking for them to be there, just giving them a call, because they're just waiting for you. Every single person has
Yeah.
a guardian angel. And all of the angels are there. All of the angels are there waiting to help every single person. But we need to ask them for their help. So
Absolutely.
anyway, there we go. Maybe we should leave it there.
Okay. Yeah. Good idea. Okay. Fine. Well, thank you for listening. And thank you for that, Nicola. Light language. Wow.
Okay, yeah, loved it.
Okay.
So yeah, so anyway, well, look, have a great week, and we will be back next week.
We will
So
be. Yeah, we will.
and look,
Okay.
look forward to it. Okay, have a fantastic week wherever you are, and whatever you're doing, and speak to you soon.
All right.